Welcome to the electrifying Part 5 of the ROSeDS Model. In this exhilarating segment, we will embark on an exploration of dimensions and their profound impact on our social structures. Brace yourself for a thrilling dive into the intricate workings of constructing a comprehensive social structure. We will unravel the secrets and gain a profound appreciation for the immense effort involved in shaping our social world. But wait, there's more. I have an extraordinary bonus for you in Part 6. This special edition will equip you with invaluable insights. You'll discover how to make choices based on your interests, understand your position within the social stratospheres, embrace diverse perspectives and motivations for the future, and gain a profound understanding of the fundamental dimensions that underpin our very existence. Get ready to ignite your curiosity and embark on this exhilarating journey as we unlock the mysteries of dimensions and uncover the keys to building a vibrant social fabric. Let's dive in and seize the thrilling opportunities that await us. There have been many proposed models for our solar system, but the heliocentric model stands out as the most accurate one. In this model, the Sun takes center stage, and the planets, including Earth, revolve around it. It's important to note that the planets' orbits aren't perfectly aligned with the Sun's equator or the solar system's plane, like some models suggest. Instead, each planet has its own tilt, causing its orbit to be at an angle with respect to the Sun's equator. External forces and gravitational interactions have influenced the planet's orbits, but despite all these factors, everything in the solar system keeps moving forward together in a relatively consistent manner. Just like the solar system, our social structures and individual lives are influenced by external forces and interactions. Our thoughts and ideas are often shaped by commonly accepted social norms. However, similar to the solar system, we all move in the same direction and rely on each other for various major aspects of our existence. This is where social structures come into play. The innovative ROSeDS model helps us understand and describe how these different factors interact and work together in a dynamic way. We are on a thrilling journey, exploring the wonders of our solar system and the intricacies of our social structures. The ROSeDS model will provide us with valuable insights and a deeper understanding of how everything fits together. The more we discover and learn to understand the amazing connections that shape our world, the more we will see that we and our social structures are better working together. So here we are on our very own Earth sphere and our very own solar system sphere, circling our very own galaxy sphere, somewhere in the universal sphere. Do you see the dimensions way out here in space? Height, width, depth are the three dimensions we've been taught to recognize. So let's use those to show how the Robbie Ousley super dynamic social stratosphere layout works. We have height in red, width in yellow, depth in blue. Dimensions give us space to have presence. Where's the stable state of order? In the middle polar axis, it holds the direction of the rotation. The stability of everything depends on the polar axis. The axis ensures all of the sphere strata layers are pointed the same way and rotating in the same direction. Without dimensions, we have no place to be present. 0 dimensions is only a point without presence. 1 dimension is a line with 2 points at the ends. 2 dimensions is a square with 4 lines on each side. And what shape is 3 dimensions? 3 dimensions is a box with a square on every side. All shapes can look like a sphere when spinning. And here we flatten the sphere model out like a map of the globe. On the left side, we see the equator, the tropics, the north and south hemispheres, the Arctic and Antarctic circles. And in comparison, the right side shows minimization of order aligned with the equator, negative domination and positive progression aligning with the southern and northern tropics, respectively, erratic ideas aligned with Antarctica and mobility ideas aligned with the Arctic Circle. Especially notice how negative domination aligns as opposite to positive progression, and how erratic ideas aligns as opposite to ideas of mobility. Yes, the ROSeDS model aligns that way too. Now, let's delve into the concept of governing and how it brings order to our social structures. Imagine the axis of a sphere which keeps it steady and provides a specific direction. In a similar way, governing brings order to everything around us. Order is essential for the existence of anything. It ensures that things function smoothly and cohesively. But here's an interesting observation. The trailing end of the axis represents turmoil, contradictions, and exclusion. It's where things can become chaotic and uncertain. On the other hand, the leading end of the axis represents positivity, purpose, motivation, and resolutions. It's the driving force that propels us towards a better future. In the ROSeDS example, the Republic categories embody a specific form of governing order. They serve as a framework for how governing should be structured. Another perspective on government order is to consider the words used to establish a government. Think of influential documents like the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. These founding documents are crucial for any government or governing order. Now let's shift our focus to democracy. The levels of democracy represent the how of governing, how it is put into action to maintain order. It involves active participation and decision-making by the people. So, whether it's through founding documents or democratic actions, governing order plays a vital role in maintaining a functioning society. It ensures that we can live harmoniously and pursue common goals. Take a moment to observe how the levels begin at the center with void, representing the greatest lack of order imaginable. From this starting point, there are 2 directions to go: emptiness and vacuum. Emptiness signifies the recognition that something crucial is missing, and perhaps there is a lot missing. It's a state of yearning for fulfillment and meaning. But by vacuum, indicating that something is missing, it means the vacuum will be filled, regardless of whether it holds real significance and hope for people or not. This is why the journey from emptiness moves towards purpose, seeking adequacy, legitimacy, and recognition of meaningful values. It involves taking actions and cooperation within a community, guided by a plan, to ensure sequential order and progress. However, when individuals follow the path of staying in a meaningless vacuum, those in control seek to avoid scrutiny and intimidate others to get their way. This behavior leads to destabilization of the governing order, and they go as far as undermining, threatening, and harming both individuals and social efforts to establish order. Their actions often involve devaluing the worth and humanity of others. This state of disorder is called anarchy, which aligns with authoritarianism and can ultimately transform into what we refer to as totalitarianism, which is where power is concentrated in the hands of a single dictator. The levels and categories columns align with the axis column, forming a cohesive structure. Let's take a closer look at the positive aspects represented on the axis. In the lower red field, we start with perspectives, which corresponds to the level of emptiness in the levels column to the right. Perspectives also align with the progression category. Above perspectives, we have choice and motivation, which also align with the progression category. This alignment continues as we move upward across the axis and levels. Another noteworthy alignment is that every third level going up the axis is red. This is because perspective, autonomy, and agreement are interconnected and relate to building personal and social placement. They provide specific places for our individual and social interests to thrive, just like space serves as an established place for everything to exist. Additionally, take note of the blue fields located above each red field, which includes choice, pursuits, and conclusion. These categories are interconnected and contribute to building our place of existence. They provide leverage for making personal and social decisions based on our interests. Furthermore, the yellow fields topping off each stack represent motivation, reconciliation, and resolution. Prompt us to take personal and social actions aligned with our interests. I will cover these aspects more thoroughly in short videos. However, for now, understanding that the levels and layers relate in both directions is more than enough. Every third aspect of the levels follows the same pattern as the axis. This pattern applies to both personal and social aspects. Personal and social placement align with each other, providing a designated position for individuals and communities within the structure. Personal and social decisions are intertwined, guiding choices and actions taken based on individual and collective interests. Personal and social action are interconnected, driving forward progress and shaping the development of society. This consistent pattern of alignment can be observed in every ROSeDS structure moving forward. Moreover, it is important to note that this spiral structure, characterized by 3 rings in each spiral, is prevalent across various scales from the smallest to the largest structures in the universe. The levels spin with the sphere, constantly moving up and outward or down and inward, depending on whether the society is progressing forward or regressing backward. This dynamic spiral structure encapsulates the essence of ROSeDS and demonstrates the interconnectedness and continuous movement present in our social systems. Now, we'll shift our focus to the layers of the sphere, excluding the global information. I'll reposition the axis and right side of the map more to the left, giving us a clearer view of the layers of the sphere. By narrowing our attention to the layers, we can uncover insights into more social strata and how they interact with one another. It's like peering into a hidden world of intricate connections and dynamics. So let's explore the fascinating layers within the social stratosphere map. Keep in mind that the axis is positioned right in the middle of the sphere, serving as its center line. The levels flow outwards from the axis, creating a dynamic interplay across the layers. However, for now we will focus solely on the vibrant layers without the levels crossing them. This clear separation helps us fully explore each layer. As I mentioned before, the layers originate from the center of the core and expand outward, encircling the sphere in a captivating display. This unique growth pattern is also why the ROSeDS sphere model appears as distinct columns instead of layers wrapping around one another. By presenting the layers in this columnar format, we can easily observe and analyze each layer's characteristics and relationships. Imagine if the layers were wrapped around each other. We would only be able to see the outermost layer, limiting our visualization of the ROSeDS model. By showcasing the layers in separate columns, we gain a comprehensive view of how the model functions and the intricate connections between the layers. Herein lies the fascinating world of the ROSeDS sphere model, where we can explore each layer's unique features and unlock a deeper understanding of its excellent dynamics. So here we are on the face of a sphere that circles the center at approximately 1,000 miles per hour, 17 miles per second. No, right now, you and me are traveling in a combination of directions at various speeds. We're not just passengers on a globe traveling through outer space. We're also traversing a fascinating social stratosphere filled with levels and layers. Just like any physical structure in the vast universe, our sphere has its own axis and core. But hold on tight and enjoy the ride. Don't worry about memorizing anything. We're taking a thrilling journey, zooming through the layers of many social stratospheres at the same time. Picture yourself embarking on a cosmic adventure, flying through the universe to witness the awe-inspiring stars, planets, and other celestial structures up close. Can you imagine how utterly amazing that would be? As you venture deeper, you'll catch glimpses of the more transparent layers, akin to peering through our Earth's atmosphere. You'll witness moons and other celestial objects gracefully orbiting around their central cores, driven by layers of magnetic and gravitational forces actively shaping their paths. You'll also witness the captivating spectacle of things heating up and exploding, dispersing into the vastness of space, just like social stratospheres occasionally experience. Doesn't all of this ignite your curiosity? Don't you yearn to know more, especially about how to make things work better? Perhaps you're eager to learn strategies for preventing conflicts and maintaining harmonious relationships with your loved ones. So buckle up and get ready for an exhilarating quest into navigating our social stratospheres. We are exploring possibilities and discovering ways to create a brighter, more peaceful, and exciting future. Let's continue embarking on this amazing journey together. In this section, I am providing you with quick glimpses of the layers, giving you a taste of the depth and thoroughness of this model. A more user-friendly version will be provided to make things even clearer. Consider the areas of interest you would like to understand better. Get ready to embark on an exciting journey where you'll have the opportunity to create your own spheres using the pointers I'm about to share. Start by jotting down words that relate to the specific situation you're interested in. These words will serve as your guideposts. Next, determine whether each word belongs to the levels or category layers. Generally speaking, the levels are related to the direction you would like to go, and layers are related to the areas of placement, decisions, and actions you would like to pursue. Levels are the foundational building blocks of social interaction. They influence all aspects of our interactions, including how we engage with others and even how we think about our interests. They form the essential framework for our social lives. Layer categories, on the other hand, represent specific areas of social interactions that enrich and improve our lives. They add layers of depth and complexity to our understanding and experiences. Now here's a helpful tip. If you encounter any topics that seem to fall outside the current sphere of your interest, don't worry. These topics may be subtopics that have connections but don't directly align with your immediate focus. Keep a separate list for these topics, which you can revisit and explore later. By separating these topics, you free up your mind to concentrate on the matters that are most relevant and pressing to you right now. It allows you to delve deeper into your immediate interests, one step at a time without getting sidetracked. So grab a pen and paper or electronic note-taking device and let your ideas flow. Capture the essence of your interests by identifying the levels and category layers that resonate with your chosen topic. This is your chance to gain a deeper understanding and make meaningful progress. Remember, this is just the beginning of an incredible journey. As you continue to explore, you'll uncover new insights and connections that will empower you to navigate the intricacies of social interactions with confidence and clarity. Hold on tight as we delve into the fascinating world of subspheres. In the previous section, I briefly mentioned them, and now it's time to explore them in more detail. Subspheres are like smaller spheres within the larger social stratosphere. They represent specific topics or areas of interest that are connected to the overall sphere, but may require separate attention and exploration. Imagine zooming in on a particular aspect of the social stratosphere, like focusing on a specific community or a unique set of circumstances. These smaller spheres within the larger framework contain their own layers, levels, and categories that pertain to their distinct context. While these subspheres may have connections and influences from the broader social stratosphere, they have their own specific dynamics and considerations. They allow us to focus on particular aspects of interest without getting overwhelmed by the complexity of the entire sphere. By recognizing and acknowledging these subspheres, we can gain a deeper understanding of the nuances and intricacies within specific contexts. It enables us to address and analyze specific topics or challenges in a more targeted and effective manner. So, as you navigate through the ROSeDS model, keep in mind that there's a whole universe of primary and subspheres waiting to be explored. Each subsphere presents a unique opportunity for growth, understanding, and positive change. Ready to dive into the depths of these subspheres? Get ready for an exciting exploration where you can uncover new insights, connections, and solutions within your chosen areas of interest. Subspheres may sound complex, but they're actually extensions of the layers within the primary sphere we've been exploring. Think of the primary sphere as the main focus, where we've been uncovering layers of social interaction. Now imagine extending lines out from each layer of the primary sphere, like branches reaching out from a tree. These lines represent the extensions of the layers, and at the end of each line, we find a subsphere. Each layer of the primary sphere becomes the main topic of its corresponding subsphere. Essentially, subspheres are replicas of the primary sphere, but with a narrower focus. They allow us to zoom in on specific layers and examine them in greater detail, similar to using a magnifying glass to explore the intricate patterns on a leaf. By creating these subspheres, we can devote our attention to particular areas of interest, giving them the spotlight they deserve. You can also imagine our primary sphere as the star of the show and the subspheres as supporting acts, each showcasing a specific layer from the primary sphere. Together, they create a vibrant and dynamic universe of knowledge, understanding, and interaction. As we continue our journey through the ROSeDS model going forward, remember that these subspheres are your opportunity to explore specific topics in more depth. So buckle up and get ready to uncover new insights and connections within these fascinating extensions of the primary spheres. Diving deeper into the captivating world of subspheres, we often come across familiar category layer titles as those found in the parent sphere. Why? It's because both the parent sphere and its subspheres share the same ultimate goal, just in different capacities. However, the exciting part is that subspheres offer a fresh perspective. They allow us to see things from the viewpoint of the specific topic they represent, rather than from the broader perspective of the parent sphere. It's like putting on a different pair of glasses to gain a new and unique understanding. Just like the vast expanse of the universe, subsphere layers seem to stretch on endlessly. They provide us with infinite opportunities to explore and delve into various aspects of social structures and interactions. It's like embarking on an adventurous journey where each new layer unravels more mysteries and insights. Through the concept of subspheres, we learn the importance of nurturing and strengthening our social structures. It's a reminder to cherish what we have and to keep building upon it, rather than tearing it down or letting it go. Just like constructing a sturdy building, we should always strive to progress and expand our social frameworks, embracing growth and positive change. So let's embrace the vast possibilities of subspheres where endless exploration awaits. Together, we can foster resilient and harmonious social structures, contributing to a better future for all. Let's explore the placement of various perspectives within the ROSeDS social structure. First, we have the centrist perspective. Unlike other social models in ROSeDS, the centrist perspective is located in and around the core of the structure. It's where everything begins and grows from. But the core is not considered ideal ground for nurturing lives or livelihoods. Centrism is a level, not a layer. Being centrist means being positioned between republic and authoritarian, and between democracy and totalitarianism. Being in the midst of the heat of the center means it is adhering to a stagnant level where there is little to no development to make things better. This definition of structural centrism shines a new light on the whole idea of centrism and the way social structures work. People are naturally pulled toward negative perspectives, so centrism can easily become a segue to negative, regressive perspectives. Next, we have the authoritarian perspective, which resides at the top of the bottom side of the structure. Authoritarianism is seen as a force that pulls the social structure backward and drains energy and motivation from life. It may take many years, sometimes even generations, but social structures generally return to forward motion because people realize that life doesn't have a lot of purpose without personal choices of interests and lifestyles. On the other hand, the democracy rule perspective is situated at the top of the model. Democratic order is placed there because it promotes the growth and development of the social structure, aiming for individual and social improvements toward progress. Now let's consider the moderate perspective. Moderates fall between the core and democracy, and their positioning can vary depending on their degree of focus on being centrist or democratic. But if moderation falls too close to the heat of centrism, then it is no longer moderate because moderation requires the ability to grow and progress to actually be moderate. It's important to note that the ultimate outcome of authoritarianism in ROSeDS is totalitarianism. Totalitarianism represents a system where a dictator holds absolute power, eliminating all other influences and imposing extreme control. Total rule by a dictator, who ultimately does away with all others' persuasion to empower the dictatorial rule to extremes. In contrast, the goal of the democratic order is to establish the ultimate democratic republic. Without a strong foundation of democratic order, a genuine representative republic cannot be achieved. The strength of the republic is determined by the level of democratic participation from all constituents. The more inclusive and complete the participation is, the more legitimate and robust the republic becomes. However, the deterioration of democratic order towards centrist perspectives greatly weakens the republic, making it vulnerable to transitioning into an authoritarian system. The more democratic, meaning full participation of all constituents, the stronger the republic. The more complete the participation is, the more legitimate the republic. Where would libertarian perspectives be on the ROSeDS social structure? Interesting question, isn't it? It's worth noting that political parties have not been specifically mentioned in relation to the ROSeDS model. Political parties are flexible and do not adhere strictly to certain viewpoints, as members within the same party often hold differing opinions. However, parties like the Libertarian Party have their own stated positions on their official websites and carry those positions to whatever parties will allow them. One challenge in dealing with political parties is that they share names with our levels of government. Political parties are flexible and can't be easily defined to represent specific viewpoints without changing. Each party has its own ideas, but even people in the same party do not agree on everything. This is an area where political parties have not been very helpful in the continued development of the nation. When examining any social structure, including political, religious, or commercial groups, it's crucial to look for consistent messages and a sense of limits in their messaging. Balance is key, and it extends across the entire social spectrum rather than being limited to a few political parties or groups. In future presentations, we will delve deeper into messages and the importance of critically evaluating what we believe. It's essential to consider specific details and avoid generalizations or assumptions. Various social groups can be included as layers within their specific ROSeDS stratospheres. However, they should be identified based on their fundamental beliefs, as other positions they hold are typically connected to more specific subcategories and subspheres. Identifying the foundational positions within each tier of spheres is one of the most enjoyable and rewarding aspects of creating ROSeDS models. It helps us understand what is important at each level and tier, fostering a comprehensive understanding while acknowledging the potential for both agreement and disagreement. The ROSeDS model focuses on understanding and clarifying specific details, providing people with the opportunity to comprehensively know, agree, and disagree. In future presentations, I will talk more about messages and how we need to be careful about what we identify with what we believe. Some parties talk about small government, but they don't say exactly how small it should be. We still need some government to protect us from things like diseases and unsafe food. Other parties talk about equality and freedom, but they don't say how much or little equality and freedom should be allowed. We can't let people hurt others, but they don't always mention that when talking about equality and freedom. All kinds of social groups can be included as layers of their particular ROSeDS stratospheres, but they should only be identified based on their fundamental beliefs. Other positions they have are usually connected to more specific subcategories and subspheres. This is one of the most enjoyable and rewarding parts of assembling ROSeDS models, because it helps identify what is foundational to each tier of spheres. So let's continue exploring the ROSeDS model, uncovering how the nuances and significance of each perspective affects social structure as we progress further. The ROSeDS model is designed to inspire hope, peace, and goodwill by offering insights into social structures. However, there are times when authoritarianism gains influence within social groups, casting a shadow over the positive aspects. It's important to recognize that these negative social forces try to shift blame onto the pushback from positive forces. Yet, when we observe the situation clearly, we realize that it's the negative forces attempting to overpower the good. Nevertheless, we persist in pushing back and have made significant progress over hundreds and thousands of years. As the positive forces dedicated to improving societies and humanity continue to grow, the darkness gradually diminishes. If we ever hope to achieve anywhere near full democracy in anything, the power of good will overcome darkness. The positive forces will prevail, shining a light on the best qualities within people and societies. That's why the ROSeDS model is symbolized by vibrant colors, representing the hope and aspiration to overcome darkness for the benefit of all. Imagine this mesmerizing golden spiral that expands endlessly, growing larger and larger with each iteration. It's a captivating pattern that stretches out to infinity. Nature is a treasure trove of fascinating elements that have a touch of gold, like numbers, rules, formulas, and shapes. These elements embody the infinite nature of our world. One of these golden elements is Fibonacci's golden ratio. Learned from ancient times long before Fibonacci, it is a special ratio that can be found in various aspects of nature and art. It creates a sense of perfect harmony and beauty. Have you ever noticed how certain photographs just seem to captivate us? That's often because they are designed with the golden ratio, which makes them visually pleasing and draws us in. Another infinite ratio is pi, which is a number that represents the relationship between a circle's circumference and its diameter. It's a never-ending decimal that goes on forever. You might be surprised to learn that even the Old Testament of the Bible mentions pi in certain passages. Then we have a number called e, which is another infinite number. It's a special number that appears in various mathematical equations and represents exponential growth. In our ROSeDS model, E takes center stage, symbolizing infinity and the endless possibilities that lie within our social structures. And then there is the supreme golden rule. It's a principle that urges us to treat others with kindness and respect, just as we would like to be treated ourselves. The golden rule can be found in different forms across various laws, religions, and organizations. It embodies the pursuit of perfection and harmony in our interactions with each other and others. These golden elements remind us of the infinite potential that exists within our world and inspires us to strive for excellence in everything we do. So here we are, exploring the foundation of the Robbie Ousley super dynamic social stratosphere. We've seen how it's put together and how it functions. And now I'm excited to share some additional information about its connections to some of the most powerful forces in existence. Now don't worry if you don't grasp every single detail I'm about to share. The important thing is to recognize how extensively it is already involved in building social structures. We shouldn't underestimate the value of what we already have. Starting over from scratch isn't usually the best solution. Instead, let's focus on continuously improving and refining what humanity has already constructed. Nature itself provides us with incredible examples of intricate and interconnected systems, and in the same way, our societies are complex webs of relationships, interactions, and structures. The Robbie Ousley superdynamic social stratosphere captures this inherent complexity and reminds us of the importance of preserving and nurturing our social structures. So get ready to dive deeper into the connections between the social sphere and the vast forces at play throughout existence. It's not about understanding every little detail. It's about recognizing the immense depth and richness of the social structures we have, and appreciating the effort it has taken to maintain and continually improve them. Get ready for the exciting bonus segment. I want to share something important with you that has been missing from field science, religion, politics, and business. It's a crucial concept that can make a huge difference in how we move forward in everything. We've already learned that being in the center of a social structure, known as being centrist, is where all the layers of the social sphere begin to form. However, staying in the center for too long is harmful. It can lead to a lack of growth, constant conflicts, and harm to society and life itself. Imagine a body of water with fish swimming in it. If that water doesn't have an outlet to flush out toxins and waste, the fish would eventually perish. Similarly, social structures need an outlet for continuous growth and progress to thrive. It's all about how different people perceive and approach these structures that can determine whether or not growth and progress are achieved. So as we move forward, let's keep in mind the importance of having outlets for our social structures. Let's embrace growth and progress and strive for a better future. Together, we can make a positive impact on society and create a world where everyone can thrive.